to make sure that those children, the 9.5 million children that are enrolled in various type of Quranic schools have access to basic education. And in that direction, UNICEF has been supporting the integration of the basic literacy, numeracy, life skills. And then when we look at the life skills, we look at some of the foundational skills, the transferable skills, and then the vocational skills that are being integrated into the curriculum so that the children can also have opportunity and then access to the basic education that could make them compete with other children. But what UNICEF is doing is not really commiserating the number of the children that we have in those Quranic schools, because there are millions of them. And then right now, the support that is being provided is in some few states, though we have seen some kind of improvement, in efforts to reducing those out-of-school children. But we feel the challenges still remain because looking at the supply side and then also the demand to cater for those children, especially those that are not in the integrated Quranic schools, we still have a long way to go. And that's why in our efforts and then our roles as UNICEF, leading the education sectors, we are working with the government to see how we can come up with some strategies to reduce those numbers of out of school, but more specifically to seeing how we can include, as I said, those vocational skills, life skills, literacy, numeracy in the Quranic school, so that those children can also, benefit from the basic education as part of their rights, to fulfill their full potentials.
All right, Miriam, thanks for that. We'll get back to you. Let's come back to Abuja. What we have come to understand is that the Almajiri phenomenon, or what happened to the phenomenon, could be described as a system failure. Not that it was not a good, well-intended program, from its origin. Now, several governments have actually, in the past, preferred solutions, or rather, brought up policies, to address the Almajiri issue. I recall that during the last administration, not the current government, that's the government of Goodluck Jonathan, we had the Almajiri schools, that he tried to bring up in several states of the north. One wouldn't know what actually, happened to that. And I want to ask you this, Kiana, you're a team lead, Almajiri Rights Initiative. Now, we have seen the situation. We have seen what some governors in the northern part of the country are doing at the moment. Typical example is Kano, Kaduna, and perhaps others are keen into that. This your initiative is the actions of, or are the actions of these governments or governors addressing your initiative?
Okay, thank you very much. And so, let me first of all appreciate the Kano State Governor for the effort is put in to address the Almajiri child right crisis within his state, and the step he has taken so far. And to answer your question, in fact, that is, for me, the bane of the whole problem and the reason why we're still talking about the Almajiri system and up to today. And over time, the government policies and initiative to address this issue has always been that of a quick fix, or to either fulfill certain political promises. I think addressing the Almajiri issue is something that has to be well thought, well planned, and executed over a long-term period. We have all agreed here that the system worked before and it has failed. And when a system fails, what do? You reform it. And what does it entail to reform something? You have to either add something or you remove something from what has failed to make it more functional, more performing, and more educative for the children and for the society. So if we want to reform the Almajiri system to achieve the goal that we want, then we should be transparent in our approach. We should also introduce new approach to addressing it. what the essay to the governor has said on the step they have taken, I mean, it's not too different from what the previous government have done before, and it has not worked. It has not worked. I'm just worried. I pray it works, but I'm just worried about the sustainability of the approach they are taking now. You are going to be, according to him now, there are about 13,000 of the schools scattered around the state. And then they've also employed some 8,000 teachers to send to some of these schools. And what that means is that you're going to be feeding the children 3 times a day. You're going to be catering for their shelter, their medical bills, and all that. And if you look at that, doing it for millions of children, day in, day out, week in, week out, months and years, without even a clear exit plan for it, I mean, I just feel that the financial burden is going to be too much for it to be sustained.
Now what should be the right thing? What is your initiative?
So the right thing for me, we must be